Now let's take a look at the fastest and easiest way to create a new TypeScript project. The top of this document tells you how to install your tools. Now let's test those tools out. I'm using the degit tool to get started. I'm basically copying the current state of this repository as is. No better time than the present. This seems easy, so let's just get to it. Alright, assignment 2. Start a new project from this template. And that looks like a one-liner up here. Yeah, let's put all these into the same directory. All my Git stuff. And let's copy this, and we'll call this, we need a name, so how about assignment 2. That looks promising so far. Taking a little longer than I expected. As I said, I haven't pushed this very hard yet. Ah, done. There's some notes about performance if you look up the degit tool. But for now, here we are. Let's cd into there. Yeah, create a new directory. cd, yep. All right, so let's start using that directory. Assignment 2, here we are. Yeah, like I said, I don't really think I have a choice here. Yes, this, you might as well do it, just like in the last video. And how do we look over here? Yes, even though we copied from a Git repository, we're starting fresh. There's no link back to that. So you have your own history and your project starts today. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. Initial release. And maybe that's good enough. And might as well put in everything. And let's go. Yeah, that's what Git is for, just to show us what's changed. So now we know where we started. Okay, open this and start creating. So, as we learned in the previous lesson, let's say show new terminal. npm run dev. And if you're ever not sure, you can go into package.json, and these are the different things that you can do: dev, build, or preview. Might be nice if that worked with that, but maybe I'm asking too much. Okay, so this should start up a development server so we can see our project before we made any changes. And a nice command click. Ooh, So this is the template. It has some nice stuff in here, some actual tests. This is just plain HTML. Let's inspect that. Yeah, this is just HTML, but this would have said broken if the CSS wasn't working. And this one would have said broken if the TypeScript wasn't working. So it's a nice starting place, and you can delete all this stuff very quickly. That's the difference between this and the previous video where I was starting from a complete project. Here, this is an empty thing that, well, it's almost empty, and you can make it empty very quickly. Okay, so what were my instructions here? Well, before we get to anything specific, let's make sure we're really connected where we think we are. I mean, this is kind of the silliest thing, but it's really a good thing. Just start by making sure you know where you are. Let's go into main, and instead of working, let's say working and awesome. Yeah, just a really quick thing. And yeah, all I hit was Command S, and that made it update. Awesome. Okay, so let's get to the specific instructions here. Start a new project from this template. Done. Add a small amount of custom HTML, CSS, and TypeScript. Okay, well, do a really simple thing. And then build the project and publish it to GitHub Pages. That's actually one of the things that the original template that I started from didn't do well. So this is one of the main reasons that I made a template. Okay, so yeah, add a small amount of custom HTML, CSS, and TypeScript. Okay, HTML is always at the top level. And title. Hello world. Oh, what the heck. The emojis work up in the top here, and they can add a little color. All right, instead of this, how about and have a little something here, copy image address. How are we doing here? Yep, hello world, and it's bright red, so it sticks out. Well, if you wanted to do an icon, I just commented that out. Lots of formats work well now. The SVG used to be a real pain to make icons back in the day. So what have I got here? We have that, maybe some CSS and such. All right. Now CSS, it says very clearly, don't put it here like normal. Instead, we go to main, and that's where it references the CSS style sheets. And this next part might not be required, but it should be. Got to pick a good font, and Google Fonts makes it easy. Just depends how you're feeling that day. Kind of nice. Sure, why not? And let's say get font, get embed code, like the import style. Makes it very simple. All right. I don't know why they don't add that semicolon there. That's kind of silly. All right, and all this stuff is new. Android, iOS, web. Yeah, I'm just going to copy this like I used to. And again, let's see what happened to our page here. Hey, got a nice font, got a nice picture. What else do we need according to the directions here? HTML, CSS, some TypeScript. Good enough. Again, we're just proving that stuff works. We're not doing anything especially exciting here. Oh, you know what? That probably needs to be deleted. Yep, sure enough. And just like before, this is really small on purpose, so it'll be easy to do something different. So how about body.append and hello back to you. Simple enough. Okay, so we got this first part working here. We got some HTML and some CSS and some TypeScript. So the next part, I think, is to build this and to push it to a web server so other people can see it. Again, right now this is local. You can't share this with anyone yet. All right, well that should be simple, and I'm sure the instructions were a little bit higher in here, but I'm just going to do it off the top of my head. Yeah, this was the window that earlier it asked us if we wanted to do something, and I said yes, and it created this. So now I'm going to say npm run build. Ooh. So the build part is more picky than the automatic, the testing part. So here there were no warnings, no errors, but here it complained. It says I have an unused import. So different ways to deal with that, but sometimes it's easier just to listen. Didn't hurt anything here. It reloaded. And let's try that again. All right, not very exciting, but it looks pretty good. Might as well do a preview. So what preview is going to do is look at these things that we built, and most of the time they're the same, and most of the time I don't even bother to do that test, but as long as we're here, npm run preview. Okay, different address. This is 4173 instead of 5173. And again, they should always be the same. The difference is that this has all been obfuscated and minified and whatever else. And this is closer to the real production environment. Okay, well that looks promising. So now what we need to do is send this to GitHub. And again, a lot of this, the files that we got for free already configured a lot of things. If you're not using this template, you might have to do more work. All right, so we did the build already. And now getting to GitHub. Well, of course, there's some modified files. Sometimes I spend more time than others looking it over, but I think it's all safe for now. All right. Okay, publish brand, oh, excuse me, commit. All right, so publishing. There's several options from here to send everything to Git, and I don't remember the problems, but I just do it a slightly different way. And I'm sure there's a lot of ways. That's how Git works. There's always a lot of options. Let me go to my GitHub. Yeah. And let me create a new package. Excuse me, a new repository. And the name will be the same. It doesn't really matter. Okay. I don't know if this matters. I have a README file. In fact, we need to get back to that README file. Super duper palm tree. You know, I'm tempted to. Okay, yeah, anyway, yeah, basically all this is off, so it's not going to do anything else except create the repository. Then it has a whole lot of nice instructions, and I'm always doing the same thing, pushing an existing repository from the command line. So let's go back here and copy. And then the shell has a nice thing where it won't actually do anything until I hit enter in case I copied the wrong thing. But that all looks reasonable. And refresh. Hey, assignment 2 has some good stuff here. So what are we missing? The README file. I should have changed the README file. For better or worse, so you have some nice, this was basically help for the template. And we should probably replace it with our own thing, but there's no rush for this. But yes, definitely this is a nice getting started thing. Tells you exactly what you got in the template and a few other notes. So, now we need to turn on the GitHub, what's it called? GitHub Pages? Yep, GitHub Pages. And settings, pages. Okay, deploy from a branch. Notice it's referencing GitHub Actions. I'm just using the default actions, which work really great for me. At work, we have a more complicated setup with actions, but I'm just using the default, and it works great. Yeah, all right, so source. Oh. Yes, again, the actions thing we use at work, but the deploy from a branch is what I'm used to. All right, master, you can say which branch, but always do that. And then you have a choice of the whole thing or docs. Those are your only two choices. And if you look inside the config files over here, I'm actually pushing stuff into docs. This is the output that we created when we ran the compile. This tells it to push everything to that docs directory to match this. Okay, yeah, I think that's about it. Save. Now it always takes a moment. It won't be ready immediately. Let's go to actions here. So we're still on assignment 2. We're in that project. And it says it is queued. So, in progress. I usually just get up and get a new glass of tea or something at this point. Usually takes about 60 seconds. And it will show up around here whenever it's ready. But let's keep watching on the actions. All right, yeah, 51 seconds. It usually takes about a minute. And deployments, that's new. And it's a little bit confusing. I think this top one is the one that is the least confusing. And this in particular is the page to go to. Hey, I created and shared something. I will put this into the comments, the description of this video, along with this, the help for this whole project. Okay, well, like I said, we started from nothing. We downloaded a template. We filled in a few basic things to prove that we could. We pushed it out to the web. That could have been a lot harder.